Hello and welcome to another Starcraft 2 beta commentary. This is a 2v2 on the map Twilight Fortress. It's between Typhren, who's playing as the purple Protoss, and his ally Azergling as the teal Zerg, against Khamal as the blue Terran, and his ally dhewitt as the red Terran. So, what are we going to be seeing here? Who knows? I haven't watched the replay yet, but I guess we'll find out in due time. So we can see both the Terran players are going to be blocking off their ramp here, which is the smart thing to do in general. It goes quite slowly actually if I try to watch anything that's more than a 1v1, and I've actually got quite a good PC. So that's pretty disappointing to be honest, but hey ho. Bear with me. Bear with the terrible FPS. So we've got two gateways here. Typhren. Oh, I get it. You're being fed, aren't you? Yeah. A Zergling must be feeding you. Whilst he still makes the spawning for himself. Or is he feeding you? I'm not sure, actually. I don't think you can actually transfer resources at this point in the game. I think you have to wait like 3 or 4 minutes, I believe it is. So maybe not. Going for a flat out a lot of use there, though. What with the mass pylons and everything. Anyway. What do we see over here? An overlord going all the way down here. Maybe he's trying to sneak over this point so he can see the gold mine when an expansion goes up there. Meanwhile, the Terrans are doing a pretty Terran thing by building supply depots and barracks by their ramp, by the looks of it. And Marines. Woo! So let's have a look at production. Anything interesting being made? Baneling nest. Banelings. I like to see how they turn out. They're always fun to watch. Got concussive shells being upgraded by one of the Terran players, Khamal. So he's going for marauders, whilst his ally might be focusing on marines. Zerglings are getting control of the Selnaga Tower. This means that a Zergling and Typhren will be able to see a fair bit of the map. Oh, Banelings are coming out to play. Nice. We'll keep a check on those in a moment. More gateways are going down by the looks of it. Other than that, pretty straightforward so far. 2 orbital commands as Terran should be getting themselves. For the mules. Now, are these Banelings going to be putting any pressure on? We shall see. How well will it go? I think that went pretty well. But the thing is you need to take into contemplation the fact that Banelings aren't that cheap. You have to kill quite a bit more than the Banelings were worth. For example, a Baneling is worth 50 minerals and 25 Vespene gas. Now a Marine is only worth 50 minerals. So if you use 6 Banelings to kill 8 Marines, you've pretty much not done much at all. Even though it feels like you've done some good damage there, you've really actually just sort of made it kind of even between yourselves. Not much has really changed in the game. So yeah, that's something to consider, really. That's kind of the issue I have with Banelings at the moment. Just trying to work out the best amount to sort of burrow underground and explode on enemies, really, to make the cost worth it. Because that's 6 lots of Banelings right there. But if you look at it, I only believe that 1 sentry, well, 2 supply depots are going to go down, so that's 200 Vespene gas. Did I say 200 Vespene gas? I meant 200 minerals. So, yeah. 200 minerals versus the 6 Banelings. Well, let's just say that 6 Banelings are definitely more expensive. My math isn't that good at this time in the morning. But, yeah. So, these guys are proper good, standing outside their ramp at the moment. This is, in the Bronze League, I believe, this replay, by the way. So, this is more for people that want to be learning the game. And I'll try and commentate on what could be done better, I suppose. Even though I don't play that many 2v2s. But yeah, we shall see how this goes. So basically the Terran players could definitely block this ramp a lot better if I was going to be very critical. Because there's a gap here that the Zerglings could all shoot through. And yeah, you only need 1 supply depot down at any one time. But other than that, it's fairly blocked, I would say. I'm not going to draw you a diagram or anything, but yeah, you get the gist. Gateways, that's fine, really. There's a gap there. That's a 2 feeder gap. Really, you only want 1 gap, but hey ho. And I think you could actually probably fit some Zerglings in between there as well. Not so sure about that one, but I'm pretty sure there's a gap there. So not that they would have Zerglings, but you get the idea. So you need to block off these ramps a lot better, really, to be quite frank. Practice a bit with that. And obviously take these expansions whenever you possibly can, unless you think you can get away with getting the gold expansion. Keep an eye on your enemy. If it doesn't look like he's building that many units, which they haven't, to be quite frank, then you probably could have got away with taking expand. At least the Zerg should definitely get himself another expand. So what you might want to be doing, Typhren, is giving your ally 300 minerals at some point during the game, just so he can get himself an expansion. Now these Stalkers are obviously going to win this fight. There's no competition there whatsoever, because they're so imbalanced. Am I right, Alzim? Yeah, that's right. So Infestation Pet is going down. Does that mean tier 3 is going to be made by the Zerg player? Will we see Broodlords? Will we see Ultralisks? Oh, I don't know. But what I would like to see is that expansion I was talking about. We need to see more expansions. Zerg can't last that long with only one main, with one hatchery, even with a queen. You start to sort of get too many resources for your own good. You need more hatcheries so you can pump out the necessary amount of units. That way you can use all of your resources. Look at this crazy critter that's floating around here. It looks like a fucking sea turtle with wings and some tentacles at the back to give him some sort of maneuverability or something. The hell? Oh well, I'll just go with that anyway. I'm not a fan of those floating critters, to be quite frank, because most of the time they look like Zerg units or something like that. If you a lot of the time in Starcraft 2, if you're having like a competitive fight, then you're only taking brief glimpses at any one part of the screen at the time. Otherwise you're doing a lot of macro, and when you take a look for a brief moment, you see something floating there, you think it's an enemy unit or something like that. It just causes you to panic for a bit. So I'd prefer it if there weren't any enemy critters whatsoever. These Banelings are mostly going to die before they can do anything. I think only one Marauder went down there. So I think you need to cut out the Baneling harass now, because that just clearly isn't going to work at this point. Unless you can borrow them underneath, closer nearby, because I don't think these Terrans are really going to be putting much effort into getting themselves Ravens or scouting in front of them anytime soon. I can't see it. Tanks are going to be made. Oops. Is that another hatchery? Yay, another hatchery is finally going down. That should have gone up a lot earlier, by the way. So robotics facility is going down. Observer. Now I would say if you're against two Terran players, if it doesn't look like they're going to be going mass air, then Typhren, you will definitely want to be focusing on getting yourself either air yourself, or since it is a 2v2, carriers can be a lot more useful than they are in 1v1. Or you can focus on Colossus. Get yourself quite a few Colossus, get the upgrade. You need the robotics bay for that, but increase the range by 2. So they have 9 range, and they'll be quite awesome on a map like this. Especially since there's only really one access point to your enemy, except if you sneak up the Colossus around here, or you could harass the natural expansions mineral lines with Colossus over here. Now, it looks like a Zergling's going to be able to take out all these Marina Marauders and tanks with these Zerglings. Is he going to go for it? I think he should have done. Absolutely. He's lost his chance now. If he went for it, he would have absolutely decimated all of those Terran units and probably won the game right there. But unfortunately, he's had to pull those back for whatever reason he deemed necessary. Maybe it's because Typhren is coming in the way, with tons of Stalkers and a few sentries to boot. Are these Stalkers going to blink in? I think they are. He's got the blink ability research, so all he needs to do is get an observer above, or an air unit above, which is just on its way now. This is a good move. And this is going to be similar to the Colossus thing, where you could basically harass and get over that ramp somehow. So are these Stalkers going to be able to do any decent damage before the enemy realise and bring back all their units? Oh, that was nice. Looks like a lot of these SCVs are going to be going down. And it could well be that a lot of the Terran armies are going to go down as well, because that is a lot of Stalkers. Although I think at this point you might want to pull back, Typhren. Blink again. Constantly move to the right whilst you're attacking that. If you're going to be only attacking with orbital command, constantly move to the right. Hit run, hit run, hit run, so you're always moving. I don't think you really should be staying in this situation. You're lucky that the Terran decided to move back a bit for some reason, so he could lose a few more units, for whatever reason that was. panic, I suppose.